Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abassi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor, and I needed that day off. I did. I was getting a little ahead of myself. I just needed to have a day off. From doing the podcast. So even though I had a really good topic yesterday, anyway, it'll come back around. I've got the notes and everything. Today I wanted to talk about something that is a real stretch for me. Those of you who are longtime listeners will know that this is a stretch for me, but I wanted to talk about prayer. And I still see myself as this newcomer to the faith industry. And what I continue to struggle with is praying for something. And I share this all the time in my recovery groups that ever since I was little, I've always felt like selfish to pray for something. And I don't know where that comes from, but I feel like I'm only allowed to be grateful. And so this is like a restriction that I've always had on myself, and I have always felt comfortable with it. But lately, I find myself wanting to pray for something and feeling like no, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to. And so I even talked to my psychiatrist about it. I talked to you about it a few days ago about wanting. I think that was on Wednesday. I talked to you about the idea of wanting something and how it's okay to want something. But there is this like tiny little negative feeling that comes with me wanting something. Um, Again, I don't know where it comes from, but this is what's going on. Okay. Stop beating around the bush, Rachel. So we are selling our house because we're buying a new house. And so the purchase of the new house is contingent on the sale of our current house. And so I've been like, so for the first few days that we were on the market, I was just like completely out of my mind with having to make the house spotless. And today was cleaning day again for me. So I try to clean every couple days just to get it spotless. And I still continue to find little traces of dirt here and there that I didn't realize were there. But when, I really want this new house. I really want this new house. I really want to move. And I really want somebody to buy this house. And when I get around to being like, okay, I'm gonna pray for it. I'm gonna pray that somebody is interested in our house and wants to buy it within the time frame that we're in. And when I start to go, initiate that prayer, I'm like, no, it doesn't feel right. It conflicts with thy will be done, not mine. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to see what ChattyMcChatterton has to say about this. And then I also, ChatGPT, for those of you who are not familiar, that he's my BFF. Um, and then I also shared about it in my meeting. So this morning in my meeting, what were we even talking about? Live action. Let me look at my notes. Oh, it was step 11 and prayer and meditation. And I had notes about humility and all of these things. But my mind just went to this, like, what's going on in my life right now. I'm having a hot flash, okay? Live action as well for that. um, I, whew, I'm sweating. Um, so lost my train of thought, but I will get it back. So I kept thinking about like this what's going on in my life and how prayer and meditation comes into play in my everyday life, like now, like today, like this week. And so somebody else shared in the meeting who is a lot more educated than me in what the Bible says and stuff like that. Um, I said that I chat GPT'd, um, does the Bible say anything about praying for something? So the guy ended up saying that there's a lot in Matthew 6 about this topic. So I wrote that down. So I will, I guess, try to look that up. I don't even know how to find Matthew 6. So I'm gonna find it. Go to Matthew and then find 6, and then there's some colon and then a bunch of numbers. So I'm assuming that is a chapter of Matthew, the book of Matthew. Okay. So I'm just showing my naivety. I'm doing that on purpose because that's how unfamiliar I am with this whole thing. But I'm willing and I'm open, and that's what matters. So anyway, in my tiny little bit of research today, what I heard in my meeting and what I've read, what ChatGPT told me, little pieces from the Bible and stuff like that. Um, so first of all, I would say the best thing that I saw today was, and now I can't find it. Oh, here it is. It said, here's the prayer that Chatty McChatterton recommended for me. God, I bring this need to you with an open heart. You know my desires, my fears, and my pain. If it is your will, please grant what I ask. But above all, give me the strength to trust you, the patience to wait on you, and the faith to accept whatever answer comes, knowing you work all things for my good. Amen. And I thought, well, that's it. I mean, that's perfect. I love that. Um, when I'm looking inward, trying to figure out, what it is I need in this moment. I don't need, yes, I need somebody to come. I want somebody to come offer us something, give us an offer for our house. But what I need in this moment is to have patience and trust and know that every night when I say, Thy will be done, not mine, how do I break that into pieces as I go through my daily life? And this prayer, I think, helped me to understand what it is that I can do to make myself more comfortable in the waiting period. So it's like the difference between praying for stuff and praying for guidance and acceptance and connection and alignment with thy will. So it's, I think it's been helpful for me this morning to go in this direction. And so I just wanted to talk it out. That's really what I came to do. Um, that's what I do. I come and share my experience, strength, and hope. And sometimes it's just experience and wonderment because I don't know what I'm doing. I only have strength and hope from what I've experienced. And some of these things that I haven't experienced is full of wonderment, is what I would call it. So prayer needs humility, I think. All help, like accepting help, needs humility. Because if I'm not practicing humility, I'm trying to force outcomes. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm telling you, I've been sitting back thinking there's gotta be a way that I can get more people to come tour my house. And there's nothing I can do. I feel so like lack of control that it's just crazy. It's crazy. So, what I've heard in my meetings is that prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening. So I feel like when I'm praying, I'm speaking of gratitude. Thank you for my sobriety. Thank you for not smoking. Thank you for the willingness um, to recover. Thank you for my body. Thy will be done, not mine. That's my prayer. And my meditation can get very confused with my self-talk. Like meditation is silence, and my brain does not get silent very often. So we were talking about, somebody shared this morning, and I thought it was really nice. I think it was the same person who talked about Matthew 6, said that silence is, I'm paraphrasing terribly, but silence is the space before the next activity happens. No, it was a different person. Silence is like between tasks. Um, the silence is the space between tasks or whatever, and how our minds naturally try to fill that space. That self-talk is filling that space. So being consciously aware of what my brain is doing between tasks is is self-awareness. And if I can quiet down my mind, then that would be a meditative state of listening. It doesn't matter. I mean, what I shared this morning was meditation does not start with my mind. Meditation starts with my body. I have to put my body in some sort of meditative position, whether that is laying down, whether it's sitting, or whether it's out walking, or I used to go running. It can be kayaking, like whatever is a nice, calm place and activity for my body that allows my mind to then follow and be calm as well. So, all of that was really helpful for me today as well. So, this was interesting what I heard this morning. So, like, along kind of the same lines as praying for something, the literature talked something about praying for people. And so this can go along a couple different paths. Praying for somebody, like if I'm having some sort of disagreement with somebody, then, and I'm angry with them, there is this manner of praying for the other person that's supposed to temper my anger. And I learned that in the program. But there's also this praying for something as if I know God's will for that other person. And I thought that that was really, really interesting to me. If I'm praying for them to, um, oh, I just pray that my friend gets a promotion. That is something that I would pray for as opposed to praying for something for myself. But the same applies in their life as it does in mine. Like, who am I to pretend to know God's will for them? Um, what I should be praying for that would make me more comfortable now that I've heard this angle on it is thy will be done, not mine, still in somebody else's life. And that was really interesting because I think I do that a lot. I think probably a lot with my kids more than anything. And it has taken me some time to get comfortable with the idea that my kids have their own higher power. And I like to believe that my higher power is looking over them too. And that makes me comfortable so that I can say, thy will be done, not mine, with them. Like there's nothing I can do anyway. But what I heard this morning is something about imagination and reality, and that all that noise between my ears when I am not in a meditative state, that is my mind spinning a imaginative, no, imaginary, sorry, wow. My mind spinning an imaginary reality. And what happens, I shared this morning, is those imaginary realities are all bad. I have the what if syndrome, like it's no one's business, and everything ends badly 5 different ways. um, and what I am learning to do, thanks to a addiction therapist that I had that said, have you ever thought of everything going perfectly? And I'm like, no, of course not. Everything goes terrible 5 different ways. So by her suggesting that idea to me, I do try, especially with the house thing, I'm trying to imagine that it's all going to go perfectly. Um, I can't help but have this part of me that's like, I deserve it. I've gone through so much. And I feel guilty about saying that. Can you tell? Like, I have a lot of guilt that, like, just lays under the surface about what I am, about my own thoughts, that I'm not allowed to think things. It's really, I don't know if I'm the only one. I know I'm not the only one, right? Because I'm not unique. So somebody else in the world has to feel this way. But I just tend to try to control my thoughts even. But what I can do in the way of controlling my thoughts is try to use my imagination for good. Try to allow my imagination to spin the story perfectly so that it ends perfectly. Um, Much of what I heard this morning about prayer was it doesn't matter what you're praying for. It matters if you're praying with all your heart. Was kind of, again, paraphrasing, but knowing that you are all in, and all in reminds me of that acceptance. And it's really acceptance that I don't have control. So, this acceptance that I was introduced to in early sobriety, accepting that I am an alcoholic and that I can never drink safely, it was hard. It was hard to wake up every day. And for a hot second, I forgot that I was an alcoholic. And then I would remember, and my gut would kind of sink, like I felt kind of like, what's the point then? And then over time, as I woke up every day, reminding myself that I'm an alcoholic and I can never drink safely, I started to be okay with it. I started to realize that actually life is getting better, it's not getting worse. And so I've been able to do the same thing in stroke recovery. I would wake up in the beginning after I had my stroke and I'm like, okay, like it's a normal day. And then I would feel my headache. So for just an instant, I forgot. And then it would all come crashing down on me again. And then I remember like my brain is broken and it's never going to be fixed. And that was really heavy. It was really difficult for me to wake up with that. But over time, um, it's been 4 years. I wake up now and recognize that my life is not worse. It's not worse, it's different. And it does come with an appetizer of pain, a side of pain, not an appetizer, a side of pain, a side dish of pain. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? It does come with pain, and that is not better, period. But is it manageable? Yes. Um, I do know that life is easier. I shared this morning. Life is easier when I'm in the passenger seat instead of the driver's seat. And if I keep trying to push my life in a direction that it's not going to go, it gets very painful. On the inside, it gets really painful in my heart. Um, And acceptance every day helps me move over and get in the passenger seat. And prayer also helps me do that. If I forget to pray, then I'm sitting in the driver's seat. And if I pray, then I am surrendering the driver's seat. I am not being self-reliant. I am reaching outside of myself for help. So prayer is is not asking for what I want. Like that's not what matters. It's not what I say. Like in my understanding of my higher power, um, he already knows what I want. I don't have to ask for it. Um, I need to always remain focused on what's important in my life. And whether I ask for it or not, so this is up for debate with other people, I'm sure, who have faith. Whether I ask for it or not, thy will be done, not mine, right? I mean, that's what I believe. I believe that my prayer cannot change what's going to happen in my life. But I do believe that prayer will help me know how to respond better to what happens in my life. Prayer keeps humility solid, keeps acceptance solid, and keeps faith solid. Prayer keeps me connected to my conception of God. It's not like, it's not transactional. It's like an everlasting thing. So what I have started to do when I go to bed at night, I mentioned this in an episode, I think last week. I said I had been feeling like when I get down on my knees before bed to pray, I had been feeling like I'm like picking up the phone, the rotary phone, and I'm dialing in. I'm dialing in God's name, God's number. And like, do you have time for me right now? And if my conception of God is going to work for me, then he is already there. He's already with me. He's already with me. So that has been a new concept as I pray at night. It's like, hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. Let's catch up. Let's close out the day. But it's not like I need to, again, call him on the rotary phone and be like, hey, this is what happened today. And this is what I want. So please give it to me. That's so I think what I'm trying to do is answer my own question here. And I think that I have. It's that I can just keep doing what I'm doing. And as long as I continue to focus on what's important, keep focusing on my recovery, keep focusing on being of service to other people, which I have been trying very much to reach out to newcomers in my program and reach out to other stroke survivors. And that's what I need to be doing. Um, how do I handle this, like, what did I call it the other day? This resonating anxiety. Breathe, try to get myself in a meditative, put my body in a place where I can meditate and work through that. Do some activities that make me happy and life will proceed no matter where I try to push the car, because I'm not in the driver's seat. I'm the passenger. So that's all I have. Thanks for listening to me. That was deep, but good. So I will talk to you tomorrow.